Hello everyone, my name is James. Today I want to talk to you about something very important: learning English. Many people feel afraid when they start learning. They feel nervous to speak. But my friends, I want you to listen to me carefully. Because today we are going to understand something that can change your life forever. So, are you ready? Have you ever felt shy when speaking English? Have you ever wanted to speak but your voice stopped inside? Well, I want to share a story with you. When I was young, I was like you. I was scared. I couldn't even say hello without shaking. I remember standing in front of the mirror, trying to say good morning, but my voice felt weak. My father, Michael, saw me one day. He said, "James, if you don't speak, how will people hear you? Your voice matters." His words stayed with me, like a seed growing in my heart. One day, my teacher, Miss Amelia, asked me to read a story in class. I felt my hands sweat. I wanted to run away. But I remembered my father's words. I took a deep breath and read. My voice was shaking, but I read. When I finished, everyone clapped. For the first time, I felt something special. I felt strong. And that day, I learned a big lesson. Speaking is not just using words, it is showing who you are. Now, let me ask you, have you ever felt scared like me? Have you ever cried because you couldn't speak? If you have, it's okay, you are not alone. Sometimes Olivia, my friend, felt the same. She used to sit quietly in the corner. One day I asked her, "Why are you so quiet?" She said, "James, I'm scared they will laugh at me." I looked into her eyes and said, "Olivia, if you speak, maybe they will laugh once. But if you stay silent, they will never know who you are." She smiled a little that day. Friends, speaking English is not just about words. It's about showing your heart. When you speak, you open doors. You meet new people, make new friends, and grow your personality. Imagine you are in a room and the door is closed. Outside, there are people waiting to meet you. English is that key to the door. If you open it, new opportunities come in. One tip I always give is practice listening. Listening is very powerful. When I was learning, I listened to the radio every night. The host's name was Donald. He spoke slowly and clearly. I would close my eyes and listen to his words. I learned how he paused, how he used his voice, and slowly I began to understand more. One day I was with a friend, William, and I repeated something I heard on the radio. He was surprised. He said, "James, you speak so well." I smiled, but deep inside I knew it was because of listening. Listening teaches you more than just words. It shows you emotions. One evening I heard a story on the radio. It was about a girl named Mia. She couldn't speak English well. One day her teacher, Miss Charlotte, told her, "Mia, you don't need perfect words, you just need your heart." Mia felt encouraged. She started speaking slowly, and little by little she improved. The story touched my heart deeply. I cried a little, thinking about Mia's courage. And that moment taught me something. Speaking English is not about being perfect. It's about being brave. If you are listening to me now, remember this learning is not a race. It is a journey. Sometimes you will fall. Sometimes people will laugh. But do not stop. Keep walking. I met a girl named Sophia once. She always felt nervous. One day I asked her, "Sophia, why do you want to learn English?" She looked down and said, "I want to make my father proud." Her words touched my heart. I told her, "Your father will be proud, not because you speak perfect English, but because you tried." Friends, English can help you in many ways. It can help you find a job, travel, or make friends. But most importantly, it can help you be confident. When you speak, you feel stronger. Your personality grows. You start believing in yourself. And that is the most beautiful part of learning. So, if you are thinking, "Can I really do this?" my answer is yes, you can. But you must listen. Not just with your ears, but with your heart. When you listen, you learn new words, new feelings, and new ideas. I remember a boy named Benjamin. He was always curious. He asked me, "James, how can I speak like you?" I told him, "Benjamin, listen every day. Listen to people, to stories, to music. And one day you will speak without thinking." His eyes lit up with hope. One last memory I want to share. My friend Daniel was once very sad. He failed in an English exam. He thought he was not good enough. But I told him, "Daniel, an exam doesn't decide your future. Your effort does." He looked at me with tears in his eyes and said, "James, you believe in me?" I held his hand and replied, "Yes, I do. And you must believe in yourself too." Now let me ask you, do you believe in yourself? Do you believe you can speak English? If you do, then start today. Start with small steps. Speak to yourself. Speak to a friend. And when you feel scared, remember this: every great speaker was once a beginner. Even I was scared. Even you will be scared. But fear is not the end, it's the beginning. And friends, if you ever feel like giving up, remember Mia, Olivia, Daniel, and Benjamin. Remember that each of them was once like you. Scared, shy, and quiet. But they listened, they practiced, and they became confident. You can be like them too. You can find your voice. You can be strong. You can be brave. In the end, my message to you is this: speak with your heart. Listen with your heart, and never stop believing in yourself. And if you ever feel lost, remember my father's words: if you don't speak, how will people hear you? I want to keep talking with you, but for now I will let you think. Think about your voice. Think about your heart, and let me know, what is your reason to learn English? Comment and share your story with me. And let's continue this journey together. Because, my friends, our story doesn't end here. It continues. And I am here with you, every step of the way. Every step we take together is a new beginning. You know, learning English is like planting a seed. At first it's small. You water it, give it sunlight, and it grows. It takes time and you must be patient. But one day you see a tiny sprout and it brings hope. Your confidence is like that sprout. With every word you speak, it grows a little more. Let me share another story. My friend Paul was very shy. He never spoke in front of others. One day I asked him, "Paul, what makes you happy?" He smiled and said, "Music." I was surprised because Paul never talked much. But music made him happy. So I told him, "Why don't you try singing in English?" He looked at me like I was crazy. "James, I can't do that," he said. I just smiled and said, "Try it, Paul, for yourself." A few weeks later, Paul told me he had started singing small English songs. His voice was shaky, but he sang with his heart. I saw a new light in his eyes. He wasn't just singing words. He was expressing himself. And slowly he became confident. He didn't just learn to speak, he learned to feel the language. That's the power of using something you love to learn. I know there are moments when you might feel alone in this journey. Moments when it feels too hard. Like my friend Emma once said to me, "James, why is it so difficult to speak English?" I could see the tears in her eyes. I gently told her, "Emma, it's difficult now, but not forever. Think of it like a mountain. Climbing feels tough, but every step takes you higher." One important tip I want to share is to find a way that feels comfortable for you. Some people learn by reading, some learn by listening, and some, like Paul, learn through music. For me, stories were the key. I loved listening to stories. Each story taught me something new. Sometimes I would write them down and practice saying them out loud. I still remember one story about a girl named Charlotte who moved to a new city. She didn't know anyone, and she felt so lonely. But one day, she gathered the courage to say hello to a stranger. That one word changed her life. She made a friend, and slowly her loneliness faded. The lesson from Charlotte's story is simple sometimes. All it takes is one word, one step, one hello. You don't need to speak perfectly. You just need to start. And you know what's amazing? When you start, people listen. They see your effort. Like my friend George, who couldn't say much in English. But he always tried. He once told me, "James, every time I try, people smile and help me. That's the beauty of trying." People respect effort more than perfection. Let me ask you, have you ever felt like nobody understands you? Have you ever wanted to share something but didn't know how? English can be your bridge, a way to connect with others, to share your feelings, your dreams, and your stories. My friend Ava once told me, "James, I want to share my thoughts, but I don't have the words." I told her, "Ava, words will come. Start with your heart." And she did. She started by saying small sentences, like "I feel happy," or "I like this," and slowly she found more words. One day she shared her dream with me. She wanted to become a teacher. I was so proud of her. She was not just learning English, she was discovering her dreams. Sometimes we all need a push, a little courage. like Amelia, who once cried because she made a mistake in front of the class. I held her hand and said, "Amelia, mistakes are proof that you are trying." She wiped her tears and smiled. And that day she spoke again. Her voice was not perfect, but it was strong. Friends, learning English is not just about language. It's about discovering who you are. It's about building confidence and finding your voice. When you speak, you don't just share words, you share a piece of your heart. If you are listening now, I want you to remember this: do not be afraid of mistakes. They are part of the journey. Every mistake is a lesson. Every word is a step forward, and each step takes you closer to your dream. Think about a person who inspires you. It could be anyone: your father, your mother, a teacher, or a friend. Imagine telling them, "I can speak English now. I did it." How would they feel? How would you feel? That feeling, that moment, is worth every effort you make today. And I want to ask you something. What is your dream? Why do you want to learn English? Is it to find a better job, to travel, to meet new people, or to make someone proud? Take a moment to think about your reason. Hold it close to your heart, because that reason will give you the strength to continue. And whenever you feel like stopping, remember my words: you are not alone. I am here with you, sharing this journey. And I believe in you, just as I believe in myself. Now I want to hear from you. What's your story? What inspires you to learn? Share it with me, and let's continue this journey together. Because, my friends, this story doesn't end here. It's just the beginning. Let's keep going, step by step, with hope in our hearts and words on our lips.